Let's be real for a second. We all think we'd see the red flags, right? We believe we'd walk away if someone disrespected us, lied to us, manipulated us. We say things like, I would never tolerate that. But here's the truth no one talks about. The most dangerous red flags don't show up like danger. They show up like comfort, like chemistry, like connection, like finally someone who understands me. Let me tell you another story. His name was Jordan. He met Maya at a mutual friend's party. She was radiant, funny, spontaneous, and had this magnetic energy. It wasn't long before they were inseparable. She listened, she cared, she even remembered the tiniest details about him. He thought, this is it. This is what love is supposed to feel like. But slowly, things started to change. Every time he made plans without her, she'd get quiet, withdrawn. If he didn't respond to a text quickly, she'd send a guilt-laced follow-up. Wow, I guess you're just too busy for me now. He started adjusting his schedule, cutting off female friends, staying in more just to avoid the emotional fallout. But she wasn't yelling, she wasn't mean, she was hurt, and that's what made it so confusing. He thought, maybe she just loves differently. Maybe she's just been through a lot. But what Jordan didn't realize was this: not every red flag comes with a raised voice. Some come with a whisper, and a story that makes you feel sorry for them. Let's dig into the red flag smart, emotionally aware people often overlook because they seem harmless, even loving. Red flag number 1, they constantly play the victim. Now hear me out. This isn't about blaming people who've been hurt, but if every single story they tell ends with, my ex was toxic, my boss was jealous, my friends betrayed me, you might want to ask yourself, what role did they play in these stories? If they're always the victim and never the villain, or even the student, it means they haven't learned. And guess who's next in line? You. Red flag number 2, they demand access, not connection. They want your passwords. They want to know where you are, who you're with, and why you didn't text back in 12 minutes. And they'll say things like, if you have nothing to hide, what's the problem? But listen closely, this isn't about transparency. It's about control. True connection is built on trust. If they don't trust you, that's their wound, not your assignment. Red flag number 3. They give just enough to keep you hooked. One moment they're distant, the next they're back with a good morning text or an I miss you call. You feel relieved, validated, hopeful again. This cycle of withdrawal and affection creates a chemical addiction in your brain. It's not love, it's a dopamine loop. You start craving the highs and tolerating the lows because the small doses of affection feel like proof they care. But healthy love doesn't leave you starving, it feeds you consistently. Here's what I need you to understand. You are not someone's therapist. You are not their emotional parent. You are not here to be broken down, tested, and rebuilt in someone else's image. You are a whole, complex, beautiful human being, and you deserve a relationship that feels like freedom, not a job. People often ask me, how do I know if it's a red flag or just a rough patch? Here's my answer. Red flags repeat, rough patches resolve. In a rough patch, both people show up. They communicate, adjust, grow. But with red flags, you talk, they spin it, you cry, they minimize it, you hope, they disappear, then come back, then disappear again. You're not in a partnership, you're in a pattern. So how do you break free from these subtle red flags before they break you? 1. Stop explaining your standards, start enforcing them. If you need consistency, honesty, or space to be yourself, that's not high maintenance, that's high self-respect. Anyone who tries to negotiate your peace is telling you they're not ready to protect it. 2. Watch how they handle your no. Say no to something, anything, and observe their reaction. Do they guilt trip you, withdraw affection, try to convince you? Respect lives in how someone responds to your boundaries, not in how much they say they love you. 3. Keep a clarity journal. Anytime you feel confused in a relationship, write down what happened, how it made you feel, what they said when you brought it up. Patterns will emerge, and once you see it clearly, you won't be able to unsee it. Now, I want to ask you something, and I hope you'll be honest with yourself, and maybe even with us in the comments. What red flag do you still find yourself excusing? Is it inconsistency? Is it emotional unavailability? Is it someone who keeps you almost happy but never at peace? Drop it in the comments. Let's create a space where people feel less ashamed and more awake, because sometimes just naming it is the first step to healing it. And hey, if this video helped open your eyes, give it a like. Not for me, for the you that finally decided to stop settling for half-hearted love. This was Dating Red Flags, Part 2. In Part 3, we'll talk about the self-sabotaging behaviors we bring into dating. Yes, even the ones we learned from trauma. You won't want to miss it. Remember, you're not hard to love. You've just been loving people who make it hard. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs a gentle wake-up call. And as always, choose love that chooses you back.